Right, hopefully this thing's recording. God, I sound a bit odd. Right, I've got two things I'm doing today. The first one is I'm on my way back actually, on the basic training loop that I normally do, which is sort of out and down the valley, around La Tourzanis, Senevière, which is where I am now, and back up, which is normally about 26-27k. I'm mindful that I need to start riding further. So I've actually today gone a bit further down the valley, all the way down to Tour de Force, Le Saint-Cercle-la-Popie, and come back up. We should turn it into, I don't know, just short of 40k basically. And the idea is just to keep legs turning for that. So that's today, that's what we're doing. I'm going to show you some footage of today now, and then I'll come back to you when I've had a drink and I'm slightly less red. There's a bit of French patriotism there. A US flag is probably a Donald Trump supporter. Midday, and all right-thinking people should be having lunch. Not the worst scenery. I love this area. This is a extended training ride loop. It's actually working out really well. I'll talk some more. I'm going to talk about this bike a bit in a while as well. Okay, as I say, I don't normally do a lot of stuff about kit, but I'm going to give this thing an honourable mention, because I'll tell you what, this damn thing really deserves it. This bike is a bog standard, well, it's now not a bog standard, but it was a bog standard Decathlon, Triban, whatever the hell you call it, RC 500 road bike. It's not the expensive one to do a 500 and a 520. The 520 is slightly better drivetrain, basically, and brakes. I didn't have the money for it. Just bought it as a commuter vehicle for a gig, an IT gig in Paris at the start of last year. Didn't mess around with it, essentially stuck a half reasonable set of pedals, some Shimano double-sided things, and Brooks saddle on there, and a couple of bottle racks, and called it quits, really, to be perfectly honest. Rode it around Paris, rode it on that gig, and then obviously COVID had a nasty outbreak. Got it back home, got locked in, and then decided, you know what, I'm going to do the Camino de Santiago. So I did the whole French side of the Shimano last year on this, on the original wheels, on the original cassette, on the original everything, just as I left Paris. So by now, this time this year, I don't know, 2,500 kilometres on this little badger. And I'll tell you what, this thing cost me €650 new. And I defy anybody to get a better bike. What have I done to it now? Well, you can see I've got Panaracer 35s on there, which, for information, is about as big as you can get. I've swapped out the back cassette to a 36, just because I'm fat and I don't like hills. And I've stuck a set of Mavic All-Roads on there, because actually it sort of is worth upgrading in it. It's now my all-purpose, just ride it, more or less go anywhere light gravel bike. And I'm telling you, even with that stuff on it, this thing's sub £1,000 basically in euro terms. And I don't know, as I say, I don't do a lot of gear reviews, but I can absolutely and utterly guarantee you that this bike, this little fella here, has been worth every single penny of it. It's still going, it's going to last me for a hell of a long time, provided I don't fall off it again. And I'd urge you, if you're looking at a bike, if you're looking at something to commute to work, if you're looking at something just for a bit of fun, you're going to be hard pushed. They do a flat bar version for those who don't like bending over. And I'll tell you what, definitely worth the money. As I say, I don't do gear reviews, but that deserves an honourable mention. I hope it's some use to somebody. Well, that's it, I'm back. There you go. Bike's gone to bed. I don't know if you see that. Predictably, the sun came out and it didn't actually rain. So, all in all, successful ride. Even without a rain, excuse me. Oh, that's a noise, isn't it? Even without a rain jacket. So, yeah. As I say, extended cycling loop for this one. The idea is, end of March, start of April next year, I'm going to try and do the Spanish side of the Camino de Santiago. You might remember, if anybody ever bothered watching, that I did the French side last year, and I'm sort of looking at doing it all in one blast. It's about 820k basically. So in my little tiny mind, I've got to be able to ride 40k a day and do it in 20 days with a bit of contingency. In other words, take April. Idea being, set off on April the 1st, for some obvious reasons. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, even an unusual one for me. Bit of a bike review in there. Who'd have thought it? But I could highly recommend that bit of kit. For anybody who hasn't got a fortune of money and can spend thousands, it's as good as anything. It gets you riding. Ride it. And I hope you like the area. Hope to see you one day, actually. Anyway, guys, take care.